Hi, this is Jeff Runquist, and we've started a question and answer series that you might be interested in tuning into and learning a little bit more about our wines. And if you've got a question, feel free to send us to us here at Scott at jeffrunquistwines.com. And you never know, we may choose your question to answer. The next one comes from Doug. And Doug's a home winemaker. And Doug has heard that when we age our wine in barrels, that we don't top the barrels. And Doug, you're right, we don't. We don't top our barrels. Now, traditionally, that puts the wine at risk for oxidation and the introduction of acetobacter, the bacteria that will convert ethanol into vinegar. Obviously, you don't want that to happen. Traditionally, as a wine ages in barrel, a certain amount of it will evaporate into the air. It's called the angel share. If we fill this barrel with 59 gallons of wine, a year later we'll come back to it, it'll probably only have 57, maybe even 56 and a half gallons. Well, where did that 2.5 gallons go? Well, it evaporated. What evaporates is not wine, it's water and ethanol. The color, the flavor, the tannin, the acids, all the character of the wine remains in the barrel. It's gone through a concentrating process. During this time, Headspace appears in the barrel. We call it ullage, U-L-L-A-G-E. We're just plain Headspace. Now, in the past, when a barrel was sealed with a wooden bung, the union between the bunghole, where the wine is introduced and removed from the barrel, and the bung, that seal has a chance to dry out and let oxygen into the wine. So, periodically, usually once every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, the winemaker would come along, take the bung out, take wine from another barrel, and top it up. It's a process called topping. Back in the 70s, Dr. Richard Peterson, he was at the Monterey Vineyard at the time, experimented with taking that barrel and to keep the seal of the bung and the bunghole tight and airtight, he took the barrel and rolled the barrel so the bung was at about 2 o'clock. And that kept the bung moist and kept it from drying out and creating an avenue for atmospheric gas to come into contact with the wine. And lo and behold, he discovered that the ullage that appeared in the barrel appeared at a vacuum. You could put a vacuum gauge, a pressure gauge, into the barrel and watch slowly the vacuum would increase as more and more wine evaporated out of the barrel. Today, we have a better sealing bung than wood. It's a silicone bung. And a silicone bung, when it's put into the barrel, forms an airtight seal. And when we're done aging the wine and we go to break this seal, it sounds as if we're opening a vacuum packaged bag of coffee beans. There's that nice, only it's air, it's gas running into the barrel rather than coming out of the barrel. So, Doug, you're right. We don't top our wines. We use silicone bungs, and we'll let it sit for anywhere near, sometimes as much as 18 months to 24 months. The vacuum seal is still there on every barrel. It's rare. I'd say maybe once every 200 barrels, perhaps, when we go to pull samples at the end of the barrel aging process, we don't hear the vacuum seal break. And in that case, we spend extra time evaluating that wine to make sure it hasn't run awry and had any effects of over-oxidation or development of acetic acid or volatile acidity. How this translates into flavor that you enjoy at Jeff Runquist Wines is that our wines do not see anywhere near as much oxygen as they age in barrel. The vast majority of the oxygen introduced into a wine that ages in barrel occurs when it's topped. When they take the bung out and fill it back up to the brim with wine. We don't do that. And as a result, the fruit character that is often compromised by oxidation can remain strong and bright and fruit forward. And that's one of the many things that combine to deliver a fruit forward Runquist wines. One of them is we choose not to top our barrels. We still protect them from acetobacter and from the development of volatile acidity, but we don't see as much oxygen being introduced or atmospheric gases being introduced into the wine, and the fruit character remains a lot stronger than if we had. So Doug, hope that helps you. And if anybody else who's watching this has got a question, even if you're a home winemaker and you're interested about something, send it to Scott at jeffrunquistwines.com. And if we pick it out of the assortment that we get, we may answer them. You may see it on the web. Thanks a lot.